Well, bad news this afternoon on the education front. ACT college scores are at a 31-year low. This according to the Associated Press. The class of 2022's average score came in at 19.8. This is out of 36 possible points. And it's also the first time since 1991 that the average score is below 20. The report also shows that 42% of ACT tested graduates failed to meet at least one of the subject benchmarks in English, reading, science, and math. 42%. Those, of course, are indicators of how well students should perform in corresponding college courses. Experts are attributing some of this to remote learning during the pandemic and the systemic inequities in education in place even before the pandemic. Okay, that's pretty alarming.
It is.
Because one of the metrics that you can judge a society by is its education system.
Sure.
And nationally, we have been underperforming as it pertains to the world for a long time. But our standing has slipped now to where we're in the 30s. And most people look at America and we'd like to think we're the leader in most things.
Yeah.
Even if we're not the leader in education, we should be amongst the leaders, and we're far from that. And that's very troubling because the future of a society is dependent upon the education of its young.
I think a lot of focus has to be on the tests themselves as well. Our kids are tested all the time, too much. And basically, we're teaching to test at this point. And that is not the way to teach. You got to let the teachers do their thing. And unfortunately, you know, they are teaching in order to get a curriculum in for the school district and the state. And then, oh yeah, we have these state tests. And then we have this test and that test. As a mom whose kid today took the PSAT for the first time, I called, I said, how'd you do? And she said, I just guessed on the last few questions, I was over it. That's what they're going at these tests now.
Sure.
They're over it. They are over tested. And I think we just need to tone, in on what is a relevant test. How should that be done? How often should it be done? And where does that place us in this global scheme of things?
No question, the education has to get better here. Has to. Because our bar isn't going to be lowered because the test scores are lowered. You have to figure out a better way to teach. And right now that seems to be the unsolvable Rubik's Cube. It's not easy.
Nobody has the
Very
answers.
Tough.